When the winter winds chill me to the bone, I make a pot of my hearty mushroom and wild rice soup with sausage. This creamy, earthy soup is so simple and quick to make, you can have it any night of the week. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV. I'm your host, Peter Lee. On this channel, we teach you all about celebrating. We share recipes for food, hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, and we share entertaining tips too. Now we try and keep it all as simple as possible, especially for those of you out there who say that you just can't cook or entertain, because we know that you really can. So if you like this episode, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell, and you'll get a new episode every single week. Today, our celebration is all about soup. We're having an Arctic blast here in New Jersey, so I'm making a big pot of one of my favorites. It's my mushroom and wild rice soup with sausage. So let's get started. Mushroom soup, wild rice, sausage. We're going to start talking about the rice first. Now, I'm making a wild rice blend. This is the kind that I use. You can use any type you want, a blend like this that you can get, or just even plain wild rice or whatever rice mixture. I just need really a half a cup or 75 grams. I weighed it out and I cooked it per the package instructions. The only difference I did was I used chicken stock instead of water just to build another layer of flavor. So you want the soup to be just jam-packed with flavor. So let's put this aside for a moment. I'm going to turn my burner on. Maybe. There we go. So this soup has sausage in it. I have here my favorite smoked sausage. This is 8 ounces or 230 grams of smoked sausage, whatever type you like. You can use turkey sausage, you can use beef or pork, whatever you like, right in the pot. All I'm doing here is we're going to saute this down a bit. It's already fully cooked, but we want it to start to brown and render out some of its fat and flavor for the soup. All right, this is started. Now this is a rich, creamy soup. And to get it nice and thick and creamy, we're going to make a slurry. And we're going to start with some flour. I have a third of a cup or 45 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm going to pour right in this dish so I can mix it. To that, I need to add some chicken stock. Now, this soup takes a whole quart of stock or 960 mils. Right now, I just need a half a cup or 120 mils of some chicken stock. So we're just going to bring this out. This is a very forgiving recipe, so if you don't measure exactly exact, it's fine because it's all going in the same place. There we go. Right in here. And we're just going to mix this up quickly until it combines. It's okay if it looks a little lumpy. It will be fine in the end. There we go. All dissolved. Now we're just going to let this sit aside. Let it do its thing. Let's check our sausage. That's pretty good. I've got some color on it. So I'm going to remove this back to the same bowl it was in because it's fully cooked. And now I've got all kinds of flavor in that pot. Alrighty. Now we need to add the rest of the vegetables. But before we do, we're going to start with some butter. I have 2 tablespoons of butter I just cut up right in. I have a large onion diced up right in the pot. Next, for our mushroom soup, we're going to add mushrooms. These are cremini mushrooms. I've got 10 ounces or 280 grams. I just slice them up. You can use button mushrooms too. Right in the pot. Now we're going to give this a stir. We're going to let these saute in that rendered fat and the butter. I'm going to hit them with a little salt and pepper, help them along, and to add flavor. There's some salt from the sausage and in the stock, but we still want to add a little more. Mushrooms will take a lot of salt. And a good grind of pepper. We're just going to saute these down for a few minutes until they start to soften. Our mushrooms are cooking down. Now you don't want to cook these down so they're dry and cooked all the way down. You want that mushroom liquor in there because that's all flavor. So these are about ready. Now I told you about the chicken stock. We're going to add the rest of the chicken stock. Yes, I know I'm using stock from a box. It's okay. I'm going to add this whole thing in. Glug, glug, glug. And then we're going to add in our slurry. Now you want to do this slowly. You don't want to just dump it in. And we're going to bring up the heat because we want to bring this all to a boil. We'll stir. Now, I'm going to stir this in just like this. Just drizzle it in. This is going to help the soup be nice and thick and velvety. All that in there. Okay. Now we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to reduce it down to a simmer, and that's going to cook the flour taste out, and it'll start to thicken. So once it boils, simmer until it thickens up a bit. Stir it every now and then. We're at a full rolling boil. Let's give this a little stir. Now I'm going to reduce the heat just a bit so it comes down to a simmer. And we just want to let it simmer until it starts to thicken. We'll give it a stir every couple minutes. This won't take long. This has been simmering for a couple minutes, about 5 minutes, and it's starting to thicken up nicely. Just a few more ingredients to add. The first is milk. I have a whole cup or 240 mils of whole milk. Now I took this out and let it come up to room temperature because I don't want to bring this down in temperature. So this goes right in. Our sausage goes back in now. Beautiful. And that rice. Remember this rice I told you about in the very beginning? It goes right in. I'm going to stir this up, get it all combined. I'm going to cover it and let it simmer for another 15 minutes. I'll keep checking it. You want to make sure that it's a little thicker. Everything's mixed well and heated through. So as it's simmering for that 15 minutes, it'll thicken up even more than it is now. It's been 15 minutes. Let's check on our soup. Ooh. Let me turn the heat off. Wow. Ooh. That looks wonderful. Now we're going to have my favorite thing, the tasting. And this is thickened up nicely. And the more it sits and starts to cool a little bit, it's going to get even thicker and richer. Look at that. That is glorious. Needs just a little color, a little freshness. I have some parsley. There we go. Just for prettiness sake. This is going to be very hot. Ooh. Let's have a little taste. Mmm. Wow, that is amazing. That is just brilliant. There's so many layers of flavor. You get the earthiness of the mushrooms and that smoke from that smoked sausage is in there. And then the texture is creamy and luxurious. Part of that is from the rice too, and the rice gives a nice little chew to it. Mmm. Perfect thing for a cold winter's night. So is this. Alrighty, we will see you on Tuesdays for our regular episodes and Fridays for basic skills and cocktails. So until we see you again, I'm going to go eat some soup, and I want you to watch some of these videos over there. Cheers!